been a sucker. I got that walk like Cardi B. Swing first, I don't do arguing. They say that Lotto be spitting. If you ask my nigga, he say I be swallowing. Double whatever they offer me. Buying Chanel.
Hey you guys, it's Ari the doll. You already know who it is, and I'm back with a new video. I don't want to make the intro too long. I just want to get right into it. I'm finally getting a new wig finally, so I'm so excited. It's shipping in the mail, so that's some good news. But today's video is gonna be, it's like so late. I just got back from work a while ago. I wanted to film this video really quickly before I got ready to go to bed. This video is going to be my 1 month update on estrogen. And if you guys haven't already, go watch my previous video which talks about me starting HRT after 2 long years. So if you want to know what's up with that and how the beginning of my HRT process kind of went, go and check that video either before this. You should probably check it before this because it'll flow into this rather than watching this and then that. But you can do either or. But let's get into it. This is going to be my 1 month update on estrogen and my testosterone blockers. I'm going to tell you the changes. I've documented everything from the past 4 or 5 weeks. I've documented it all. In the beginning, I was doing it by the day. I'd be after this many days, this happened. But eventually, I just stopped doing that and I just said, this is a new change bullet, you know what I mean? But before I even get into that, let me just before I even get into the 1 month update, let me tell you a bit about myself for the people who don't know, because there might be some new people here on my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Ariana. I am a transgender woman who has just started HRT. I socially began my transition 2 years ago when I first came out back in 2021. And it's just been a difficult journey trying to get onto hormones, so I'm very happy to finally be here. Over my next couple videos, I will be talking about the aspects prior to my HRT, because up until now, my transition has been completely social, and up until the past month, it's finally become a medical transition, you know? So in the future, I definitely want to make videos talking about the social aspect of my transition, but I'm happy that I'm now in a position to also make videos on the medical aspect as well. Why I wanted to document my transition period is just because it's for inspiration for other people. A lot of people have told me that my videos have either educated them, made them feel seen, resonated with them, a lot of those things back when I was making videos actively. That's kind of why I wanted to document my transition, because it's you never know, I could really be helping somebody. And on top of that, it's just I like to documenting it for myself as well. It's I can go back and see oh my god, this was my 1 month update, this is what happened. Not only will I benefit from it, and I can use it to keep track of things. It's other people who are beginning their transition or who are just looking to hear other people's experiences, that's why I'm documenting my transition. Let's kind of get into the video now a bit more. So what exactly is estrogen? So estrogen is a group of hormones that are responsible for development of the female sex characteristics, the secondary characteristics. These changes include breast development, changes in water retention, fat distribution, emotions. Starting my transition, I started to realize there's a difference. Before, when I was testosterone dominant, it was just different to me being estrogen dominant, in my mind and just my way of thinking. There's a difference. In terms of HRT, estrogen for transgender women is used to 1, suppress testosterone, and 2, begin the development of those same female sex secondary characteristics amongst individuals who are assigned male at birth, i.e. transgender women, male to female. The hormones are available in many different forms. They're available in pills, injections, sublingual, I think, gel patches. So it's really whatever your body metabolizes the best, honestly. In terms of estrogen and HRT amongst trans women, the major goals are breast development, your skin getting softer, changes in fat redistribution, changes in libido, because the libido is definitely a bit different and it works a little differently. Not saying that's a goal, but that is something that does come out of it. There's definitely a lot more goals and effects from estrogen in terms of HRT, but like those are one of the big ones and the most common, you know. So now that I have broken down a bit about myself and what exactly HRT/estrogen is, I can finally get into my 1 month update. So let's start off with my dosages of everything. So I am prescribed estradiol valerate, which is estrogen in the injection form. So I'm prescribed that 0.5 milliliters. My vial is only 2 milliliters, so I'm prescribed 5 mg because that's the concentration. Every 5 days. I don't do 7 days. I do 4 to 5 days because I'll get into that later, but like every injection I inject 5 milligrams of estrogen into my leg. I'm also prescribed anti-androgens as well, and I take cyproterone acetate. I didn't want to take spironolactone. It takes way too long to suppress testosterone, and I need results sooner rather than later. No shade to anybody that's on Spiro. There's been studies to show that cyproterone acetate works faster. So obviously, me personally, I wanted the one that works faster, so that's the one I picked. So I take that at 12.5 mg. So it comes in like a pill, and I have to cut it into quarters for my dose, and I take it every other day. So that's kind of like my regimen routine at the moment. I see my doctor in 2 weeks. Hopefully I'm getting my dose increased. I don't know if I'll get like something like high, but like I'm hoping to like maybe go to like 7 or 8. I'm at 5 right now. I'm at 5, but I kind of like inject 6. I like inject between 0.5 and 0.6. So like I'm hoping they can put me to like 0.7, 0.8. And yeah, but that's how much I inject. That's how much anti-androgens that I'm on. That's how often I take it. Now let's actually talk about the changes in chronological order. On day 3, I noticed that like I didn't really get morning wood anymore. That was really it. Like that was the like, I noticed that it was easier to talk a little higher. It was easier to like, I felt like my throat was, but I don't know if that's because I also quit vaping, but it was like, it was easier for me to talk. It didn't make my voice higher. It made me easier for me to talk higher, if that makes sense. Like it was more effortless to talk with a higher, softer voice. That's the voice I naturally talk with already. It's just easier to talk like that. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Day 4 to day 5, I started experiencing some depression symptoms. I had some emotional mood swings and some depression like symptoms, and it's like the scariest part is like the mood swings came out of nowhere. If I got irritable, it would just be like, it would come out, and like I'd be looking back, I'm like, why did I like it? Yeah. Around day 5, my facial hair grew slightly slower now. It grew slower where I would notice. If anyone else were to look, they would not notice it, but it was like little things like, oh, my facial hair would grow back like by 8 hours, but it's been like 2 days and now it's growing back. It'd be things like that. Do you get what I mean? On day 6, my thighs were really sore because throughout this entire process, like I've been trying to put on weight too. I've been eating like at home. I've been eating fast food on the road. Like I've been eating everywhere. I don't know if my thighs were sore because like I'm always walking. Like I'm always driving, but like I'm also walking a lot as well. So it's like I'm getting my steps in. I don't know if they were sore from that. That was also around the time of my new injection. Every time I inject, that area gets sore. So that could have also been it. I need to be a little bit more careful with my skincare, how much water I drink, and what exactly I'm eating, because I'm more prone to breakouts near my injection date due to like spike of hormones. I make sure to really stay consistent with my skincare. I try to drink as much water as possible. I try to like meet the daily goal. If not, oh well. But like that's what I try to do. Keep my pillowcases clean. Be careful not to eat anything too like oily or greasy near injection day. You know, I could have a breakout. That's all. Around day 8, I started experiencing like some really intense like emotions. Okay, like I would be feeling like sad feelings, but I wouldn't be sad, but it was like that's how I was feeling. But there was nothing for me to be sad about, you know, like I just feel things a lot more. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a strong girl. Like I have been, first of all, I have been socially transitioning for 2 years. So it's nothing that I can't handle, but it's like the emotions, like now I understand. And I'll get into like that in a bit, but it's like the emotions and the mood swings are similar to like PMS. Like it's a lot. So it's just like, yeah, but it's nothing I can't handle, but it's like, it's definitely a lot. Between days 10 and 15, I didn't really notice much change besides the fact that the emotions kept getting more and more intense. I noticed that like I'd be more happy, or like just intense emotions. Like I'd be so happy, like I could literally cry. I can literally cry about anything now. Things that I would think about before when I was testosterone dominant, especially things that would bother me, because it was like before there was no crying because I'm happy. When I was testosterone dominant, like it was rarely crying. Now like I'm thinking about certain things, good things too and bad things, and it's like I'll get very like teary and emotional and be like, oh my god, like that is so cute, or like, oh my god, like damn, like that bothers me a lot. Like I'll be noticing these things, I'll be like, damn girl, like what is going on? A lot of these changes that are happening are even throwing me off. I'm embracing everything that comes with this transition because this is something that I've wanted for so long. I'm gonna take everything that comes with it, the good and the bad, because this is something that's genuinely life-saving, and this is something that I need to do. If you're a real trans woman who has the urges to transition, you understand where I'm coming from. Going on hormones what literally saved my life, because it was getting to a point where like, and I'm gonna save this for a video on my social transition, but it was getting to a point where like my quality of life and my mental health was severely deteriorating because I didn't think I would actually get to go on hormones. Like I was getting into a really dark place. Getting onto these hormones is truly life-saving, and the results that it brings effectively, like they change things for me. Like my quality of life instantly changes now that I've been given the opportunity to like medically transition. You get me? I am not a man. Like I might have been born male, but like I am not no man. Like no, never was. Like if bitches around me could tell that I'm not no cis straight man, what does that tell you? Not every single person is getting thoughts like, I wish I was born a girl. I wish things were like, cis people are not getting those thoughts. They're not getting those thoughts, and that's why when they meet trans people, they're not so, but like they're kind of thrown off because they can't even comprehend where we're coming from. I don't really get bothered when cis people give their little peace of mind, because like they could never understand. Between day 10 and 15, my face started getting fuller, like around the cheeks. I noticed my chin started like getting rounder. It wasn't as like defined, you get me? Which is exactly what I would like. Around day 15, my nipples were really sore. They got really sore out of nowhere, and they're still sore, but it's like I've gotten used to it now. This shirt, like I can feel it on my nipples. My nipples are really sensitive. When I'm driving, like the seatbelt is on my nipple. Like I can, like that is all I can like kind of focus on. Like sometimes I'll be driving and I'll be like this, so that like the seatbelt isn't like rubbing on my nipple. Like, you know, like my nipples are, they're like not flat anymore. My nipples aren't flat anymore. Like they're starting to like poke out. But that didn't start until like more recently. The sensitivity was day 15, but the changing in size and like all that like happened over time to now. So I also noticed that my pelvis has been starting to like tilt or like bend. I noticed that my back is a bit more arched. Like I've always naturally had an arch, but I'm noticing that like my back is like a bit more arched, and it's like, you know, So and I can actually feel my pelvis tilting. Like sometimes I'll be sleeping and it's like it hurts sometimes. I mean, it's reassuring to know that my hormones are working, but it's like my body is literally like changing. I'm literally going through puberty again. You guys go through like multiple puberties. Like you go through like 2 or 3 puberties, but y'all are going through puberties the same gender. I went through male puberty as a teenager. I'm not going through that 2nd or 3rd puberty. Hell no. I'm not going through female puberty. Don't know what to expect. Obviously, like on paper, I know somewhat what to expect, but in the first person, like everyone was saying their nipples were sensitive, but I just didn't know it was that. Like every single day, like I can feel like my boobs growing. Saying that and reading that and actually like having like day 1, I couldn't do this. Like now it's just like could not do that day 1, but like now I can, because you have to realize like what I'm cupping is my boob. Like it's not exactly like poking out because it's still growing. It's grown to the point where it's like this much has grown. I think in like a couple weeks I'll have to start wearing a bra or something, but as for now, like I'm good. I think I'm good for like another 4 or 5 weeks. I'm just starting to have like boobs that like show. Not show, but if you were to see me with no clothes on, you would, yeah. I noticed that my leg, especially like when I'm walking, I noticed that like around the same 2-week, 15-day mark, my legs get a lot more sore, a lot more easier. Before I could like stand on my feet for a lot longer, whereas now they'll be sore. I mean, I'll still push them to the limit, but it's just like they get tired a lot more easier. I don't know if it has to do with the change in bone density, the loss in muscle mass, I don't know. Around week 3, my pelvis started hurting like a lot again, which means that it was bending again. It happens like once a week, like 1 or 2 days, like every week. I'll get like this like pelvis, like lower back pain, where it's like I know my pelvis is bending. The one I'm really anticipating for is for the hips widening, because that's something I really would like to happen. I haven't really noticed any hips widening because right now the stage where my body's at, it's like filling up what I currently have. You get me? Like all the skin that I currently have, the fat needs to fill that up, you know, before like anything can really change. I've noticed that my butt is like a lot more thicker. It's a lot more heavier. It's the same like shape. It does look more plump, but it's like a lot more heavier. I figured that like my body's filling up before it actually gets thicker. It's filling up right now, you get me? It's like my butt can fill up a bit more, especially on the sides. My thighs have been getting thicker. Certain things like my arms, if you were to see me on day 1, like my arms are like really toned. Still a bit toned, but they're not as toned as they were. They're not as like, it's less toned, it's less defined after 1 month. So I really like that. Oh my goodness, after like the 2nd or 3rd week, I started having hot flashes. And it would be like, especially like when I'm sleeping, my body will be just like, be really hot, where I like need to open up the window, or like my body will be like really or like my body will be like really cold, and like I have to like layer up, and it's just like a big like jump to one another. It's a lot. So around 2 weeks my nipples were sore. Around 3 weeks, like I started noticing like a lump growing, and not like a cancer lump, but like my breast tissue. It feels like a lump right now, and I just like every day I felt it getting bigger and bigger. It still needs to get like bigger between week 3, because right now I'm like technically I'm 1 month, but I'm week 5, because it's like I wanted to like wait for the effects from my 1 month injection. So technically I'm 5 weeks, but it's like I'm 1 month. So between week 3 and week 5, I had a lot of like chest growth. So I definitely wonder where I will be once I get to like week 8, week 9, which is 2 months. Notice that I've been a lot more hungrier. Like I can eat a lot more, and I think it might be from the fact I need to put on weight, because it's like the body percentage for women is a lot. Not a lot, but it's higher than men, especially because like the fat redistribution is different. Like women tend to need more fat on their bodies. I've definitely been a lot more hungrier, especially because I do not have much fat on my body. I've been trying to like avoid stuff like caffeine, nicotine. I quit nicotine. Like I said that in my last video, but like the first week I went on hormones, I had quit nicotine. So I'm 1 month no nicotine, tea, decaf tea. Just trying to eat healthy. I've been eating a lot of Wendy's, but that's to get my calories, you know, like I be eating cooked food too, but like I be eating the Wendy's too to get my calories in. One change that I noticed is that like I bloat a bit more on estrogen, so there's definitely that. I still have a lot to learn about my body, because it's like the things I knew about my body before, not everything, but a lot of it, I might have to throw out the window, because it's like, this is a new body. It's technically a new body because it's like, it's going through a lot of changes. Oh my goodness, I noticed that I bruise a lot easier. Either last week or 2 weeks ago, I tripped over a curb and like I had scraped my hand, and it's just like my hand was like bleeding. My hand was bruised, there was scabs, I scraped my knee. The fall was not that serious. It was just like a light little fall, so I was like, clearly I need to be a little more delicate with this body. What estrogen does is your skin becomes tighter and thinner and softer, and because of that, it's a bit more delicate. I do my own eyebrows, so I'll like pluck them, and then I'll use like scissors and like maybe a razor. And I do my eyebrows now, like, there's a fire truck. It's literally 4 a.m. I noticed when I tweeze my eyebrows, like the skin gets red now. Obviously, like I'm tweezing them properly, you know, like the skin gets red now. Notice that my hands aren't really as veiny anymore. Like obviously they're still veiny, but like I noticed they're like just more smooth, more smoother, you know? The veins are still there, but like I used to have veins that were just like, that's why I used to wear those long sleeves, you guys, because it's like I don't want people looking at my toned veiny arms. Like it's not ladylike. Definitely glad, because it's like I can dress a little more cute. Notice that when I walk, my hips pop a little more, because it's like my thighs have been getting thicker and my butt has been getting a little bigger and my pelvis is tilting. So those are the changes that I've had so far on HRT. I'm only 1 month on HRT injections every 4 to 5 days. With me, I'm just being patient. Obviously, like I present feminine already and I've already begun my social transition. I still do pass as male rather than female. Even though I present femininely, I will still get gendered as male. People will still go out of their way to like, you know, so it's just like, I'm just being patient for the days that come where I no longer pass as male. I'm really just enjoying my time in this like gray area. I won't say enjoying this time. I'm taking every aspect of this transition and I'm just appreciating all stages of my transition. This stage of this transition is like, I'm on the moans and the changes are coming, but I still pass as male even though I'm presenting femininely or putting effort to present more womanly. Every single day, like I live on Reddit now. Mostly the transgender subreddits where it's like we're sharing information with each other on, you know, HRT, different effects, you know, story times, experiences. So definitely see if you can like get in on that too, because like there's so much that I've learned through Reddit where like other people will share their experiences on the same medication, stuff like that. Definitely like look into that if you can. Like I said, I experienced similar like the irritability, because you guys have to realize I'm having my own hormonal cycle. I'm having peaks of estrogen and I'm having troughs as well. From my injection down to my next injection, there's like, I'm having my own hormonal cycle. So it's like, I'm having PMS. I'm not menstruating. That's not what I'm saying. I am not menstruating. I'm having the symptoms that come with premenstrual syndrome, such as irritability, bloating, tenderness in the breasts, tenderness in the nipples, moodiness, like just like not everything, but a lot of those symptoms overlap. Transgender women and cisgender women have hormonal cycles. Women assigned women from birth, natural born women, whatever you want to call it. Those women, their menstrual cycle, that is their hormonal cycle. They're like, when they menstruate, that's when their estrogen and their progesterone, that's that. For us, our estrogen is in the injection, and then it's from its peak to its like trough to the next injection. Like, that's our cycle. We can do things to minimize the like gaps of the highs and the lows and to like get it to be as stable as possible, but like we'll always have like our own cycle. And you also have to realize, like, the first year of hormone replacement therapy, transgender women do not get any progesterone. Imagine having your testosterone brought down to 0 and then having your estrogen spike up and you have no progesterone. Like, I know the effects that progesterone has on, well, I've read about the effects on transgender women, but I know what it does to cisgender women. Like, after the PMS, after those symptoms and they menstruate, then they have the progesterone that comes and calms them down and like, you know, all that. We don't get the progesterone until a year, 1 to 2 years. This hormonal cycle, it's gonna be a lot to deal with for the next couple of months. I'm literally focused on school, work, and my transition right now because it's just like, I'm literally relearning who I am. One of the best things that I have is my support system. Like, I have family that supports me. I have friends who support me. Like, it's so important to have like friends who support you and family who support you, where you can just be yourself around them, or where you can just do your transition and not feel like unsafe about it. You get me? Please build a support network with friends, other dolls. I would prefer you look for other dolls so that you have other people who are also going through what you go through. Like, hopefully you have supportive parents. Luckily, I'm fortunate enough to have like a supportive dad who, I live with my dad now. No, I haven't mentioned it before, but I live with my dad now. He supports me. He's very like respectful. He respects my pronouns and everything. Like, I have siblings who accept and respect me. Like, that is really important. So if you don't have the privilege of having family that might support you, look for that in friends. Look for other trans women. Look for other, I don't know, it doesn't have to be trans women. Look for other allies. So important to have good support. As transgender women, we are one of the most vulnerable communities in society. We definitely need to be supporting each other. Some of my goals, now that I have finally begun medically transitioning, is to start looking into getting my name legally changed. I have my birth certificate. I wasn't born in my country of residence. I was born in Jamaica. In Jamaica, you can't change the sex of your birth certificate, but I'm also a Canadian citizen and I live in Canada, and in Canada, you can change your documents. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to get my driver's license, my passport, banking, everything changed from male to female, as well as from my dead name to my current name, Ariana. Even though I go by Ariana, even though it's not my legal name, y'all better call me Ari. Y'all better call me Ari. You know, that's what I go by. I do not go by my dead name anymore because it is my dead name. But over the next couple months, I'm gonna be looking into getting my name changed and that sort of stuff. I'm not really in a rush to do it. I still have like 8 to 9 months before I reach that period where I fail or I fail at passing as male. So there's that, and 2, my deadline that I've given myself is I just need to get the name change done before I graduate from my program. I need my name on it. On that paper, my name needs to be on it. My proper name. That's the true deadline I've given myself. I'm ready to start it now that I have begun my medical transition, and to add, like, I have all the necessary documents. For when I was living with my mom, like, she did not know where my birth certificate was. My dad had a copy as well. I don't know if my mom really didn't know where it was or she didn't want to give it to me because she knew what I was gonna do with it. My dad had a copy as well, and I gave it back to him to hold on to, but it's just like, it's ready for whenever I want to start that name change process. Something that I like to do now that I'm like slowly transitioning medically into womanhood, I like to educate myself on transgender experiences. So I like to watch podcasts where transgender women get onto them and like speak about certain things. I also watch podcasts and stuff generally, but it's like I also like to educate myself on like my community as well. Self-care is so important, and I've been trying to practice more self-care since my journey starting hormones. I definitely try to do things that keep me in that like peaceful mindset, because it's like it shines through in other ways. Like, you know, like when I'm feeling that feeling, like it pushes me to like push harder and other things. It's like, you know, like it just focus on self-care. I promise. Like, I don't really think I need to say much. Just do it and you'll see for yourself. Self-care can be things like maintenance. Like I just told you guys, I do my own eyebrows. That's self-care. Doing your nails. Maintenance. That's like nair your body, shave your body, like read a book, do a face mask. Devote some free time where you can like spend some time on your hobbies and crafts. Like that is self-care. Work on that new diet that you've been wanting to try. That's self-care. Do that yoga routine that you've been wanting to do. That workout routine you've been wanting to do. That's self-care. Get those shoes that you've been wanting to get. Like get that new makeup that you've been wanting to get. That's self-care. Try and practice as much self-care as you can. Once you start these hormones, you're actually very vulnerable. Like emotionally, you are very vulnerable. I had to like stop talking to a lot of people from the standpoint where it's just like they did not understand what I was going through. This transition is something that I did need to focus on. Something about this transition is patience is key. I have just told you guys that I'm willing to wait the 8 to 9 months of doing my consistent hormones before I see like real results where like I no longer pass as male, or it's like then my boobs start coming out. Like I'm playing the long game. I waited 2 years for these hormones. Not like I'm starting hormones at 21. Before that I was like, oh my god, like I'm starting hormones so late. I'm actually starting hormones not early, but early enough. I haven't finished male puberty, so it's like I have time for my entire physiology to like finish puberty female. Like I might not have went through the whole female puberty from stage 1 because I was not born female, but it's like I was able to begin that puberty while my body is still in that puberty like period, like where like our bodies change dramatically. Like we're still in that window. It's like definitely a privilege to like begin transitioning so young. So I'm definitely excited for the changes that will come. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get any surgeries. I'm definitely open to getting a boob job. Like if these boobs do not grow the way that I want them to, I'm gonna give it like 2 years, 2 to 3 years. If they don't grow how that I want them to, I'm probably gonna get a boob job. My stance on bottom surgery, if you haven't already watched my bottom surgery video, I have a video I made a couple months ago talking about bottom surgery. I don't know if I want bottom surgery. I go through these periods where like I'm like I want it, but it's just like I don't know. So like I just need to like see how my transition overall goes, and just like, you know, like my whole motto in this thing is like one step at a time, and good things come to those who wait. Not rushing it. I'm not expecting nothing. Like I'm just taking my hormones and going about my day. You got me? And that's the approach that everybody needs to take, because it's like once you start expecting stuff or getting disappointed about certain things, that's where the transition gets ugly. Be patient, just be optimistic. And on top of that, you cannot depend on the hormones alone. You need to start socially transitioning as well. And it's not just what you wear, it's how you act, it's how you carry yourself, how you talk, how you know, mannerisms. Get into that, start that too, because it's like the hormones is not gonna do everything for you. A lot of us are just naturally feminine, not all of us are like that. So work on that. I'll be on Reddit sometimes and I'll see like a lot of older trans women, like 30 plus, be like, oh my god, like I've been on HRT for like some of them 3 years, some of them like it's like a 3 to 7 year range, and they'll be like, I don't pass or did that. And I'm like, I'm sure like they look feminine, but it's just like you can't just look the part, like you have to be able to walk the walk, like, and it's not even like a performance type thing. It's just like I know every trans women's goal, let me not say every, but I know like passing is definitely a goal for certain trans women, but it's just like looking the part is just not enough. Like, even me, like, I do not fully pass. Like, I might be naturally feminine acting, like I might walk, but it's just like my voice is deep. I still need to voice train. Like, there's so many things about me that clock me out and bait out my scene. That's why it's just like the hormones are not a magic thing. The hormones can do a lot. They can do a lot, but they can't do it all. So be patient and put in that effort in other parts. Change something about your appearance. Shave your body. Get your body smooth. Do laser. Get into makeup. Start dressing more femininely. Start talking to more girls. Start, like, you know, like, be comfortable and embrace your femininity. That is how you will pass as a woman. As a transgender woman in society, if you want to pass as a woman, that is the kind of shit you need to be doing. You also have to remember, this is a transition. You have to grow into that woman. How many people can say they're going through a transition? So don't be so hard on yourself, one, and two, be patient. Like, I keep emphasizing it. Another thing that you should also watch out for is just like financial planning. Like, I'm putting a lot of information in this first update because it's my first update since starting estrogen and all that, so I wanted to put as much information in this video. One, because I don't know who's gonna come across this video, and two, because it's just like I don't know who's gonna come across this video, so it's just like it's my first one. I can put as much info, and you know, like, maybe I can educate you. If your insurance company does not cover hormones and it's not covered by the government, be prepared to pay out of pocket. Start budgeting for those hormones. I have to pay for my hormones. Right now, right now, my dad's insurance company, they're putting me on. Like, they're currently, like, getting me on that. So it's like, I pay out of pocket, but, like, I've kept all the receipts because after they verify me and everything, I'm getting all of them reimbursed. Right now, I factor in that I need to pay for my hormones. I pay for the supply in 3 months, and then I keep it cute, take my 3-month supply, go buy more. Maybe next week or the week after, I should be able to, like, go and reimburse my stuff, but for the time being, I pay for my hormones, so it's like, you need to factor that in. But surgeries, do you want to get any surgeries? You need to factor those in as well. Changing your name, getting your documents changed, you need to factor for that. Social transitioning costs money. You guys, I just paid for all of my laser appointments. Like, I paid for all of the sessions, so it's like, now I just need to show up. That's just one thing. Do you guys know how much I spend on makeup and beauty? I don't even get my nails and my lashes done like that, and I still spend, like, okay, some girls will spend money on nails and lashes and they don't wear makeup, or like some girl, like, you know, every girl spends money where they spend money. My makeup is high end. My makeup, I don't cheap out on makeup. Getting my hair done at the moment. Like, at the moment. I don't like my lace wigs that I have right now. And as I said in the beginning of this video, my new wig is finally shipping. Something that I've actually been wanting to do, I've been wanting to get my lashes done again, so I think I'm actually gonna factor in, like, I'm gonna start budgeting for lashes. Like, the lashes are cute, and it's like, I don't have time to be gluing on strip lashes no more, so it's like the lashes, like, I see the value in getting my lashes done. But if I had to pick, I'd pick hair and lashes, you get me? Because it's like, I'm gonna start getting my hair done again. And I want to get my lashes done too. But that's what I'm saying, like, you need to factor in these costs. Maintenance, nails, lashes, hair, clothes. You need new underwear, you need new everything. It's not cheap to be a girl. It's not cheap. So that's something you need to factor in. Stay up to date. Like, I hear a lot of things going on in the States in terms of transgender people, and where, like, they're relocating to, like, different areas of the country, and it's just like, stay up to date what's going on with your community in your area, because it's like, some areas might be safe, some areas might be safe teetering to that unsafe area, and some areas just might be unsuitable for people like us. Going out and, like, just be safe, girls. Like, there's a lot of violence that happens to transgender women. A lot of people I know and a lot of people that I've seen on Reddit have an experience. Be safe, be informed, be safe, be vigilant. If it's legal in your country, have some form of self-defense. One thing they don't talk about when you transition is like the feeling of vulnerability and misogyny. Transgender women do experience misogyny. I've had this friend, he would make comments on the clothes that I was wearing, but it's like crop tops and like short shorts and short skirts. It's just like, there's nothing really wrong about them. And this friend had told me that the way that I was dressing is the reason why I was having problems with my parents or with my mom. It's just very tone deaf to like say something like that, but why would you even like know? Transitioning has like opened my eyes from hearing about misogyny to actually experiencing misogyny. Nobody is ever gonna say to a man, oh, well, what were you wearing? Oh, the reason why you get treated is the way you, like, a guy can have bad style and that's all it is. That's all it'll be. For a girl, it's like, oh, she's slutty. Oh, she's this. And it's just like, you know, like, because there's gay guys that wear crop tops and stuff like that, and it's just like nobody's like, the bottom line is there's no misogynistic undertones or misogynistic microaggressions going on with them, because it's just like, you know, it's not misogyny. When it comes to transitioning and just being a transgender woman has opened up my world to things like misogyny, which is like one thing to hear about it, but it's another thing to experience. So dolls, I keep preaching, be safe, not just physically but mentally. Be careful about like what you tolerate and set boundaries. Like I said earlier in this video, you are emotionally vulnerable, and you're emotionally vulnerable in a way that you have never been before. You just need to be careful about like the energy that you let in. All of my trans women friends, they have gone on breaks where they have like not really communicated with large amounts of people in this period, because it's like, you know, it's a lot going on in our own lives and we just need to take that time for ourselves. During like my first week of the transition, I was like, oh my god, like no, like I'll be good, like I can still like chat everybody up, but now I'm just like, I need to take that time for me to figure out who I am going to be. And I just need to be around other transgender women who are going through this same process as me. But I'm always gonna want to talk to women, period, like cisgender women as well. Even before, I was always like a women's girl, but like the way that the estrogen is like affecting my body is just like, and my mind and just like my characteristics, it's just like, I'm always gonna be leaning towards women now, you get me? Right now, I'm not really talking to many people, except for my close friends, which are mostly girls. But even them, like I'm not talking to them every day. It's just like, hey girl, like how you doing? Or like I'm replying to their story, they're replying to my story, or we give each other a quick update. We're like, you know, like it's very quick. Or like I'll be talking to my transgender friends where it's like I'm asking them questions about like hormones and stuff like that. But it's other than that, like I'm a really busy girl. Like I be working, I'm in school, I'm focusing on this, like I'm not on my phone much, I'm taking that time for me. So it's like, I have a lot going in my own world offline, but like those times where like I do have that free time, I do talk to the girls, you know. This was a really long video for a 1-month transition update, but I did want to give some additional information. So I do hope that you found it helpful. Ignore the background of my room. I'm actually redoing my room right now. I'm getting a lot done right now. It's like, I just booked my entire laser sessions. I booked 10 sessions. I just got a new bed. I'm redoing my room. I got a new wig. I took myself, like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing in terms of my transition and just like my room and this life. So slowly getting things done one step at a time, but just ignore how plain my room looks right now, because it's like, it'll come together in a few weeks. Every time I make a new video, you'll see like the progress I make. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope the video wasn't too long. And yeah, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And let me know your experiences on HRT. Let me know what type of HRT you're on, if you're about to start, if you've been on, what you take, some of the side effects you've had, your favorite changes that have come so far. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. The thought is offline.